Who is this bare-faced boy? Do you even recognize me? I have been away for a very long time, and a really boring thing to watch is people talking about where they've been and where they haven't uploaded YouTube videos, so I won't do that. I've just been busy. Okay, so do you know what I miss on YouTube? Apart from socialism. Half of YouTube consists of makeup tutorials, and a lot of them claim that they are for beginners, but they also talk about cut creases and wet makeup sponges and highlight, contour, blush, bronzer, and I'm like, who has that much space on their face? One thing that I wish I had when I started doing makeup was an actually useful, simple tutorial for absolute beginners, and that's what I thought I'd do today. So I've kind of washed my face. I mean, water is clean, right? Apart from that, I don't really do anything. This is my bare face. I have some acne, that's normal, that's okay, I'm not ashamed of it. But one thing I do start with is concealer. However, I don't use it like half a bottle under each eye. I use it to actually conceal these spots. I know I already have one makeup video up, but that's for those more advanced days, and I don't do that every day. So one thing that I want to stress, if you are stressed, is that powder foundation is so much easier than liquid foundation. You don't have to use a wet makeup sponge, you don't have to bounce and blend and all that fuckery. What I use is a powder foundation. This is from the brand Makeup Store. It's a Swedish vegan brand. I don't know if you have it where you live, but it's so much easier and more forgiving to use a powder foundation. So you just take a sponge and you pat it all over your face. And like I said, it's much more forgiving. It doesn't get streaky. You can build up the coverage. Of course, it doesn't cover like a liquid foundation, but I'm okay with that. This is what I do on a daily basis if I gone out for a drink or go to university. I go to university more than I go to get a drink, but okay. Priorities. And that's just one thin layer of powder foundation. So it's mattifying light coverage, and that's all I do with my face. You don't even have to use a concealer unless you want to. I just wanted to remove those little spots. The next thing I want to use is some pomade for my eyebrows, and that's the only advanced part really of the tutorial. But I use what's called a pomade. This is from NYX, or I think so. It's rubbed off. I use a small angled brush. The important thing is that it's really thin. It shouldn't be fat. And the key is to use just a little bit at a time. What else? This is the hard part. I mean, I'm not I should have said that in the beginning. I'm absolutely not an expert at makeup. I'm not really interested in it. I mean, I think it's fun, and I use it every day. But it's absolutely not an interest of mine. It's just a means of, I don't know, looking more like I want to, I guess. Next thing I like to use is some kind of eyeshadow. You can absolutely skip this step. Eyeshadows can be hard to work with. You can either use a really fluffy little brush, like that. But I wanted this to be a really easy tutorial where you don't have to use 55 different brushes. I have this grey matte eyeshadow. It's also from the brand Makeup Store. Just use your finger. What the fuck? Just use your finger. You can use any kind of eyeshadow you want to, and you can also skip this step, but I just like to smoke it out a bit. So I just close my eyes and rub it on there. And if it looks messy, just call it punk. That's fine. This is fine. So you see, I don't even use that much. I don't blend the edges a lot. I just rub some on my finger and smudge it on. I really want to stress how unstressful this should be. Makeup is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to give you a creative outlet, I guess, or alter your I have a really hard time talking and doing stuff at the same time. It should be fun. Don't pressure yourself into doing this full face of Nikki Tutorial's makeup or something. I mean, she's gorgeous, but let's face it, you don't do that you don't look like that for work. Do you? If I want some more, I just build up a bit until I mean, there are no rules. I just do until I'm happy, and if I'm not happy, I smash on more to hide myself. And this is a trick which is probably kind of cringy to people who actually know what they're doing regarding makeup. This is what I do. To get that cheek shadow that a lot of goths like, I just take what's left on my finger and I do that and smudge it out. And that's the same eyeshadow that I just used. It's the same shade. There we go. Nothing more to it. Next thing I'm going to use is a kohl pencil. If there's anything you should take away from this tutorial, it is kohl pencil. You can skip all these other steps. Just have yourself a kohl pencil. So what I start by doing is make sure it's kind of sharpened, but not really, because I don't care. Also, yes, I pull my eyelid. People say it gives you wrinkles, but you know what else gives you wrinkles? Worrying about wrinkles. I just take my kohl pencil and do one line just above my upper eyelashes. There. And then I smudge it out with my finger. It's not supposed to be precise, it's not supposed to be a wing. Just smudge the fuck out of it. Look at that. I'll do a bit more just for the sake of it. And smudge it out. And it will get under your eyes as well. And that's the point. There we go. What I do next can look kind of scary. You don't have to do it. As I said, you don't have to do anything. But I tight line just under my lash line. There we go. That might look scary and it feels a bit uncomfortable in the beginning, but it's just to make things look more black, I guess. And I do the exact same thing under my eye as well. So I tightline the waterline, and yes, I pull my eye. There we go. And I also do that same line under the lash line and smudge it out. Look at that. That's a smoky eye. So I do the same on the other eye. This is not precision. It's not meant to look flawless and beautiful. But something I wish I had had when I started doing makeup when I was 12, 13, I think, would have been something like this. What are the important steps to looking moderately undecent? I don't know what I'm talking about. No, but I did have a kohl pencil, and I did have a mascara. That was it. I had no idea what to do with them. So I just did this harsh line under my eye and over my eye. And I looked like shit for a few years. But you have to start somewhere. Just wish I could go back to my younger self and say, you know what? You have at least 10 fingers. Use one of them. It's also mandatory to do stupid faces and stupid things with your mouth when you do your makeup. Would you look at that? Those are two smoky eyes. And yeah, they look messy, and yeah, that's the point. I'm owning it. If you want to make them look more smoky, I guess you can go in with the same eyeshadow color. I think grey is good because it's like light black. Does that make sense? You could also use a soft brown or a taupe-ish color. But I don't know. I'm not an expert. And the last thing I do is mascara. I have no secrets to doing mascara. I just slap it on. I hope my message gets across. It's not supposed to be precise. It's not supposed to be difficult. Just use things that are forgiving. So I'm done. That's it. That's what I use. It takes, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, and that's all I do before going to university. Sometimes I change it up by doing another shape of brow, or I use black eyeshadow instead of grey, or I use brown eyeshadow instead of grey, and sometimes I don't bother at all, so I just use the kohl pencil. But yeah, a really messy little ANTI-TORIAL, just to give you an idea of where to start. Okay,